Well, hello there again, Bunny and Owl Face thing. Hi everyone. My name is Lucifer, and welcome to Tiny Bunny. Now, for those of you who've just joined the channel, or who joined in the past few months, Tiny Bunny was one of the games that I first played way back when I first started the channel. I enjoyed it a lot, and apparently it was a prologue. I didn't know there was going to be an official release until there was an official release. I got the game a while ago, but I never played it, and I thought I'd try it again. Well, I'm trying it anew technically because it's a new game, but yeah, it's a visual novel. It's a horror visual novel. It has like dark things and stuff like that, dark themes, and I don't think the stories are connected, so each story is going to be like a different kind of thing. But I have played the first episode before, and I hear that there's some new updates and stuff, so I'm excited to try. Let's get into it. Let's see what's in there, what's in store for us. Let's see what else is different in the first episode. I think the first episode is pretty much the same. I remember this. I think what's her name? Oya. She sees a raccoon or like a bear or something in this. It's a window, right? The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast, an endless song, weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom and inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes, swaying in the wind, couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination, and I was already 12 after all. Still. It's a raccoon! In the window! Ooh, episode 1, the owl will arrive. The owl... Wait. Oh, there's clinkety-clankety noises. I don't think that was there before. Ooh, the noises are nice. I don't know why I'm so surprised by the noises. Hello? Oh, okay. I had to do the click. Ah, the familiar sight of... What? There's voice acting? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, I need to know. There's voice acting? I didn't know that. Okay, I don't think there's an option for English or not, but that's okay. Alright. Okay. Hey, put your book away. That's really cool. That's awesome. That's great. I mean, I am honestly surprised because this game was just silent before and now there's voice acting. That's really awesome. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. Oh. Okay, I'm sad now. Hide. Oh, hide the book. I thought I was hiding under the table. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line and couldn't understand reading it 3 times anyways. Olya had... Oh, it was Olya. I remember correctly. Olya had finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was enthusiastic and she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. What? Okay, sure. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it! I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder and lumpy the white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. It's very terrifying. There's a game called Subnautica. You can try playing that. Very terrifying. There's super long, huge creatures called Reapers. There's Leviathans. There's even little alligator fish you can make pets. Yeah. Very, very spoopy. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. Oh, this spoon fell out of my hand just magically. It's a magic falling spoon there for you. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes.
Что я говорила?
What did I just say?
Я достану.
I'll get it. Why does Anton sound like... Yeah. He sounds very terrified. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Karina! Ha! That's my mom's name! I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. That's right, she carved it out with her mind axe! She used it... Oh yeah. She sure was a rascal damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar though. Should I remind her about it? No. She's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? The dark is comforting. The dark will envelop you. The dark will protect you from the monsters in the light. The dark is there for you. Or the thick forest or the attic. She's your mother. She'll not be afraid of anything. I imagine my grandma or babushka coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Now, I don't have a smooth voice, but let's try.
Она к тебе присматривается, принюхивается, словно хочет понять, что ты за зверь такой. Понравишься, в беде не бросит. А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю. Тут и дело с концом.
Okay. Grandma, you're a bit terrifying. Please go away. You're a cool grandma. But please stop with the stories. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night. Without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in one of the conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket. Grandma is prepared. That is cool of you, Grandma. That is very thoughtful of you. And she called it her cute funeral box. I like you, Grandma. Grandma, you're an awesome person. Yeah. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. You have a coffin in your closet? Oh wow, if that's not freaky, I don't know what is. Imagine your kids opening up the closet to get something and a coffin just falls out. That's scary. That'll mentally scar you for life. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored materials on the inside. Why? Why is there meat-colored material on the inside? Why? Grandma? Grandma, are you okay? I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with grey faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look on their eyes. They're all here, O'Brien. I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There was a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса.
It's a fox! Oh, that is a raccoon. Never mind, I was wrong. I was wrong, okay? Where? It almost looked like those optical illusion thingies they put in the back of certain notebooks. No, they don't. They do? Where? I want these notebooks. I've never seen a notebook with the optical illusion on the back. The ones that you get here are usually have those crossword puzzles, or they have find the words in the huge list of letters, or it's just a fun fact page. Never optical illusions. I would love optical illusions. That would be cool. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision on just a little bit and look at a certain angle.
Да не на улице, на стекле.
Not outside, on the window.
Смотри, вот нос, вот.
Look, here's a nose and
Ну-ка,
here's...
доедай.
Hey, eat up.
Да, сейчас.
Yeah, just a moment, mother.
Я ничего не вижу.
I don't see anything.
Живо. Совсем немного осталось.
Okay.
Вот. Но все равно не похоже.
Yeah.
А я говорю, похоже.
I'm telling you, it does. That's right, Olya. I'm right. You're wrong.
Похоже.
It does.
Прекратите. Ну что за дети?
Stop it, these kids, I swear. I'm sorry if I miss out on if reading the text. I'm really immersed by the voice acting. I've been rewatching a lot of anime recently, and I don't know. It's kind of cool because I played this game like a year ago when my channel started, and it's really awesome to see how much it's developed. Like, I know there's a connection between me and the game, but that's so cool to see the game's grown. Unlike me, I haven't grown at all. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Ghost fox there. It's right behind you. Don't look back. It's gonna spook you. Went away. Just like everyone in my life, they just all go away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to the stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. I actually think these are like centipedes or millipedes going on the wall. That's very freaky. If you think of it that. Don't think of it that. No, never mind. Ignore what I just said. Don't think of creepy crawlies on the window. You will be scarred for life. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps. Oh, Dad, how are you doing? I want to have a beard like this when I grow up. Oh yeah, that luscious beard though. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off. It stings." Oh Mom, oh Dad, what have you guys been doing? This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point of all in this?" Through the wall. "It's for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of the family." I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. Divorce. I think it was a divorce. D-I-V-O. I didn't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different
Да
families.
что твоя лиса? Вот у меня
It
на
fucks
окне
nothing. I have an
сова.
owl on my window.
Опять ты со своей совой.
You and the owl talk again.
Так ты же вчера мне
You said
верил.
you said you believed me just yesterday.
Никто ключи от машины
Does
не видел?
anybody seen my car keys?
Вроде оставлял на
I
подоконнике.
remember leaving them on the windowsill. Why on the windowsill? Out of all the places it's there. You never know, a little goblin or an imp could just open the window and steal it from there.
Вроде.
Right.
Вроде оставлял.
Maybe you
вроде
did and
нет.
maybe you did not.
Вроде взрослый
You're a
мужчина.
grown man,
отец
a
твоих
father of
детей, а
two, and
вроде-
still.
Перестань, пожалуйста, Карина.
Karina, please stop.
Дай мне спокойно
Just let me get
собраться.
ready in peace.
В корзине твои ключи.
Your keys are
возле
in the
телефона.
blanket, near the phone.
Огромное тебе
Well,
человеческое
thank you
спасибо.
very much.
Антон, ешь быстрее, а то
Anton,
как
stop
мученик
making a
сидишь.
martyr of yourself and finish eating already.
А сова?
But the owl?
Не было там
There
никакой
was
совы.
no owl.
Была.
But there was one.
Глазюки
It had
огромные.
giant glowing eyes.
Светятся.
I'm sorry, I'm talking over the voiceover. The voiceover is really cool. Oh, it's really, really cool. Olia sprung from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers, the size of an apple each. Those are huge eyes. Are you sure it wasn't one of those ghost owls that fly through the winter? It might have been Oril. Oril from Ram of the Frost Maiden. You must have been playing D&D. That's right.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу. Сейчас сова.
Last year you had Baba in your closet and now this. But I saw. Always shifted her gaze back and forth from her dad to mom to me, but couldn't find any support. I want to support my sister.
А ты не думала подружиться с ней?
Have you
нет?
thought about befriending it?
Вымышленными
You know, like
мышами
feeding it
покормить,
with
например.
imaginary mice.
Не подначивай ребенка.
Don't bully our girl.
Просто мала еще.
She is
И
afraid
спать
to sleep
одна
alone
боится.
because she's still little. Olia patted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. I missed something. I can't roll back. Wait, I can. Oh, right. That happens. Right, okay. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted and left, in reply and left, ringing the keys he just found. Ring-a-ling-a-ding-ding. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. Under the sea. I don't know this theme song. It was stored on an incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad had already glued together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. Super glue! The solution to everything. Are you having an unhappy marriage? Are you having ghosts in your closet? Use super glue. Just use super glue in the closet and the ghost can't come out. It's just stuck there. It has to spook itself for, I don't know, spook juice. But how do you fix a relationship? Super glue! Super glue fixes everything. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. And it has disappeared! Ollie had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to the house. She would turn and toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump off in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and her parents. Oh, okay. Another thing for that, the art in this game is so good. Like, it has this kind of like paintbrushy feel, but with the cloth feel as well. Like these parts look like they were like dabbed with cloth. It's just really nice. It looks really cool. And then Olivia saw that she was and then Olivia said she saw the giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of these ridiculous fears. Olivia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her imaginations. Or nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? They can technically be, yeah. I think a lot of horror movies, okay, not only horror movies, but if someone's having like a bad time or like a nightmare or something like that, and if you're very close to the person and spend a lot of time with them, it can also affect you in a way. Not only like mentally, but also like you can also start having nightmares and stuff like that. So it's a psychological possibility. Also, kitty cat. That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of the new term. My imagination drew long, twisted hallways that led to classrooms full of kids. That's generally what schools are, yeah. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creature were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. The cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Will they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp me on with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. It doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see the people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. That is not true. It has been proven time and time again that glasses make people look way better. Like, think about it. People with glasses, especially, even if it's a guy, a girl, or anyone, people, like, if you wear a glass, you're 10 times as cooler. So, you know, yeah, glasses may have been stupid when you were a kid, but glasses are so cool, so much cooler when you're older. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging from the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist. What are you talking about? That cat looks fabulous. That Freddie Mercury image is also great. These images, you are a great artist, my dude. You can start streaming art on Twitch. But Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. Drawing is a very nice way of I don't say letting your emotions out. I want to say it's a very good way of, I guess that is letting your emotions out. It's a good, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a good, I don't want to say time pass. It's a good way of, it's a good thing to let your emotions out, and art is a good thing for that. I can't find the right sentences to say it. What am I trying to say? Help. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings. They promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You got the wrong number." Or, "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. "You've been watching too much Twilight." "That's right." Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when I was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. Take care of your dad. Glasses are very cool. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with the TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Oh, okay, I thought they were talking about this house. The condo they used to live in. It's Vadim! Our current house, although I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet, cobwebs, under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaky, rusty, drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by a noisy draft. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception I could hear a flute. It was mixed with the thousand sounds of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there, amidst the cold, snowy night. Right? I get to open the window and let the light in. Oh yeah, the animals all play and stuff and then they rush the house. Okay, someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. One's an owl, one's a fox, one's a bear, one's a deer, maybe? They're Pokemon, basically. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. These are special Pokemon that you can only get with, like, if you live in Serbia. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. It's called a cult dance? Yeah, cult dances are very spoopy. Shadows dancing in this starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music has stopped. Oh, okay. That's cool. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm just gonna close the curtain. No, I'm not gonna close the curtain. Okay. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear, piercing me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnivals and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Okay. It's a fox demon over here. Oh no. It glided on squeaking in the snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped backwards towards the bed. They saw me! A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guests move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. How large is this house if I can hear all the noises? I mean, I live in a small apartment with my parents and I can hear, everyone can hear pretty much anything that happens. So, I can imagine how big the house is, but Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remember the funeral of my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features as sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the leg of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling her up her eyelids with their tiny legs. You have a very vivid imagination. What happened in your childhood for this to happen? Oh, well, the parents fighting. I guess it could have an effect on how you grow up, but yeah. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside of their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now lying under the blanket listening to the squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had appeared. Wait, what? I don't think this was there. Blah blah blah. I don't think this image was there before. I think this is new. I think this word is new. Maybe. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw some curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. Oh. The sound scratched my eardrums. There is definitely something bad happening. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently if he was looking for something.
Мертвое к мертвому.
Ashes to ashes!
Живое к живому.
Dust to dust! That just means goodbye. It means you're leaving. It doesn't mean go away or anything like that, so... I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then... The doorknob twitched tight slightly, and it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. It's Slender Man! He was outside this whole time. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tony. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling and snared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me,
Спишь, Тоша?
Tasha, are you asleep? It's Oya! I think my voice went very, very pale back there. I'm sorry about that. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed with relief.
Я не сплю. Что случилось?
Oya, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Oya frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry.
Оно опять прилетело и пялится на меня.
It's there again, staring at me.
Прогони ее, Тоша. Прогони, пожалуйста.
Shiver away, Tosha, please.
Я так боюсь.
I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Oya
Это
down.
был сон, глупая. Не пугайся. Сны не кусаются. Никто тебя не обидит.
It was dreams, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Oya sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure
У меня есть
myself?
идея.
I have an idea.
Пойдем к тебе в
Why
комнату.
did I go
посмотрим.
Italian there? Let's
Спящую
go to your room
красавицу,
and watch the
например.
video Sleeping Beauty, for example.
Тебе же нравится
You
этот
like that
мультик?
cartoon, don't you?
Почему у спящей красавицы принца у меня эта страшная птица?
Why did the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise.
Ладно, давай посмотрим.
Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? Oh? Was it the jump scare that's gonna come up? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window and I couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast or a lord of long ashen hair.
Тоша, ты идешь?
Tosha, are you coming?
Да, сейчас.
Yes, just a moment. Oh, yes! Oh my gosh! The wolf! I totally forgot about the wolf. Okay. Okay, alright. Fair enough. You got me good. You got me good, game. Oh, wow. Was this there before? Wait, what? Was there animation before? That's why I didn't want to laugh at Oya and her owl in the morning. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Or do we? So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled from the silly thought of that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Oya always hides. Tosha, come here. I felt that little kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled in the moment she saw patrol cars. worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Hello. The senior officer who wore a grim expression nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name is Vova.
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты
Look
его
at
не
this,
видел?
please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. Dun dun dun! There's the boy. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. There was a ginger boy. Oh wait. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong things. Never mind.
Нет.
No, I haven't.
Точно? Посмотри
Are you
внимательно.
sure? Look closely.
Где мне его видеть?
Where would I
Я
see him?
тут
I
никого
don't
не
know anyone
знаю.
around
Я
here.
из
I
дома
barely
почти
leave the
не
А
house.
может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you've seen him from the window.
Да. У тебя ведь окна на лес.
That's right. Your window looks. Say that. I sounds Italian for some reason. I'm sorry. Wow. I haven't done proper accents in a very long time so I suck at them right now. I really apologize for that. Your window looks straight at the forest, don't they? The window. Dun
Не
dun.
видел.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. It's the KGB! I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which is his giant shadow cast over me. Oh? The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. That's right, the random cracks in the ceiling.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
How do you like the new place, by the way? Getting used to it.
Понемногу. Только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Bit by bit, it's just our little daughter, Mrs. City a lot.
Скучает, значит. Из
Mrs.
местных вас
Mrs.
никто
City,
не
huh?
беспокоит?
Are the locals been treating you well?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
Yes, everything's all right, thank you. The policeman pierced me through one more time, with his gray eyes, my head starting to spin.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
Can I help you somehow? I asked in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Oh no, Tosha is
вот стою и
a
думаю.
manipulator. Now that I think about it,
Ты малец на племеша моего похож.
you look like just one of my nephews. You look just like one of my nephews, little fella.
Шустрый парнишка твоих лет. С такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался. Детективами.
He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Haha, always engrossed in reading those mystery
Когда
novels.
летом погостить приезжал. Говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить.
Told me he wants to enroll in the police school when his family visited this summer.
Как я. Хотел людям помогать.
Wanted to help other
Смекаешь?
people like me. See? I felt uncomfortable as if a distant relative, not a police officer, stood before me.
Ох, ребятушки.
You know what?
Сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
Little boys like you should stay at home. Stay away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected with a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
You don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Ah, well then.
Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
What grade are you in,
В
Anton?
шестом.
6th.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Have you made any friends here so far?
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
Then I'll leave you with my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. Bye, Mr. Policeman. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photo of the smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I had gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? I think they would do a bit of both, probably. They are your parents, and parents do care about their kids. Well, most.
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Mom, this Voba, did he go missing in our forest?
Выходит, что так.
Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window and the road. The police UAZ drove off towards the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated in all sorts of mysteries there. It's like the famous five, the secret seven, Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. They look for clues, spied on suspicious people. And after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. Then it clicked on my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. And then I'll get a reward. Oya will be so happy. I don't think that's how it works in real life, but sure. And not only Oya, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. Indeed you will. I fantasized about buying Oya a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. I haven't had Kinder Surprise in years. I think they're changed now. They're like Kinder Eggs or something. They're not what they used to be before. And they're very expensive for like 2 spoons of chocolate. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely have any money to afford sweets. And Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Oya. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out, looking for
Пойду
clues.
погуляю.
I'm going outside.
Ага, щас.
Yeah, right.
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили.
You want the police to go around with your photograph
Лес
next.
вон какой густой.
The forest is so thick.
А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse, I go through the
Да я
hallway.
рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
I won't go far. I'll just stay away from the forest.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять.
Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself?
Lучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
Better go pack your school bag or play with Oya. Did the mom just dive into the sink? I mean, the sounds really do liven up the whole scene. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Okay, yeah, so at this point we can like look at different things as well, so. The dark, stuffy Harry Potter closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Oya can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She didn't believe me. It's scratched walls. The Babai could have scratched the walls. You never know. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Oya count outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster den. Alright, to the kitchen! Ooh, alright, I can look at like stuff. Lie to Mom. Open. Okay. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Oya there, but now I could only see bits of meat for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Alright, can I not look at anything else? Like, the jar of mysterious sea pickles. Alright. Turn back, what else is there to look at? Ooh. Senor Lieutenant. Oh, the number that, okay, yeah, the number that the police gave us. The side of an old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Oya liked so much. Among that still life pictures hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking after the police officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held together by pieces of broken magnets from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned towards it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time, when I would finally find Vova and be the first to call the police with the happy news. Anton! I mean, that's obvious. Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me.
Зачем тебе? Не трогай, потеряешь же.
What do you need it for? Hands off, or you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted to do, so I lowered my hand. Okay, I'm gonna look at the radio now and the calendar. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment of Grandma's house. I remember waking up running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost in the Taiga forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched the calendar in years now. Since the time I started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions to be exact. I grabbed the dusty calendar leaf with caution and tore it off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carry the log. If 7 can't carry, bring the 8th from a ferry. That's sort of positive, right? Like you can... yeah, that's sort of positive. Sort of. That makes sense. Yeah. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate that the log cannot escape. I crumpled up the grey leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that had washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blotting paper. Okay. Emircom of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving towards the region. Oh, it's actual voiceover. The game is taking away my only thing that I can do, talk. Expect heavy snowfall and blizzard and snowdrift on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Okay, I'll do that. I already looked at all of those things. Oh, the crossword. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice, so me and Dad faked knowing the answer and about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at the fleeting thought. Vertical, 9 letters, name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had nickname the Lord of Flies. Second letter is an E. I haven't read Lord of Flies, so I am not sure. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось. Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в пол.
I clicked too fast.
Дострелялся в уток своих. Говорила же, посадите мне кинет. Где мы теперь мастера
I
найдем
clicked
дыре,
fast
а?
again.
Может быть, просто настройки сбились? Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olya's room. It's not that hard to just go and go back, you know. There's no time for this. Mom will come back soon. Oh, I missed a lot of text. Oh, aw. Well, I guess we're going. I opened the front gate and went into the field, carefully so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. It's a pretty cool looking barn house kind of house. That's really cool. When I crossed half the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw the silhouettes around here. They were jumping around holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like simple dreams. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling through on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent, so silent that I felt like it was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olya. The time reached its limit. A one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olya turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb in a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olya present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. Kisses are evil! Alright, yeah. But one day it all changed. Something important had left her home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our presents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead, cold eyes, who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground, in everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions and looking around. There was only me, this white field and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun, turned my eyes into the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in the contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snowy like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some objects were hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird amongst the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he sort of reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. What is this? Oh, okay. That's cool. There's a glossary and everything. That's really cool. All right, that's neat. That is very neat. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will his mitten help them find the lost boy? Vova. I heard a distant shout. Looking. Oh, okay. Wait. Vova. Oh, my throat cannot handle this right now. I've been talking straight for like 50 minutes now. My throat cannot handle this. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it bent unnaturally towards the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh, something moved there. Something definitely moved there. Something moved there. You can't lie to me, game. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Oh no, 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 oh no. Oh no, this is really bad. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Alright, I'm gonna save the game quickly. I get plenty of save slots because I think I took the mitten when I was playing the game originally, so I'm gonna take the mitten. So let's do that. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Oh, that's definitely not a shadow that just ran past. Oh, that's not a shadow either. That's just my imagination. Vova. Oh, bye. Dun 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 dun! A lot of shadows in the air. I stepped towards the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. Oh boy, it didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy noise. All too heavy. Wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of crackling branches invaded the silence. It's the shadow demon! I didn't have to think twice before running away. When the doom music kicks in. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking the pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the ticket. I'll be gone. Forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was loud. My ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. The nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried-up raspberry bush, from the twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, don't look back. It felt like I was being inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in that place. I pulled my leg away from the mushy trap, just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was this snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something was in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my legs was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was in my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let out so he could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard, and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave away. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it in place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than the blankets. Wheezing breaths reached into the house and crashed in me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me for the same frigid voice she always went talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door?
Я случайно.
I didn't mean to. Also, wasn't she concerned about you going outside? Why isn't she concerned now? I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, a mere 5 meters away from my mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. With it, the last bit of strength had left my body too. Oh, she doesn't have an apron on. Okay. My legs gave way. I propped myself against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow.
Ты где был? Я тебе что говорила, а? Чтобы ты дома сидел. Я и для тебя пустое место.
Why would you think that? Why would you think that he's nothing to you too? That doesn't make... Okay, this mom clearly has some sort of emotional thing going on, but she needs to talk about it. I got afraid that she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was a very little kid, wanting her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel, her voice rang
У
out.
отца сигареты пропали.
Your dad can't find his cigarettes.
Признавайся, ты их стащил. Курить бегаешь.
Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret?
Там за мной кто-то гнался. Я думал, меня...
I started as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. What? Who is sniffing? Oh, Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked to the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant when she covered her mouth with her hand.
Гляди, вон же они. Прямо у забора.
Look over there, at the fence! My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I heard something scratching at the door, just like my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fears. Ooh, doggos! I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow through this icy winter's patterns on the glass. Dogs! Just a small pack of strays, with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that lived on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton.
Они гнались за мной.
They were chasing me like a bunny.
А вдруг они бешеные?
And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from my mom's face, and she looked at the dog as if it was her first time seeing them.
Что если они нападут на Олю?
What if they attack Oya?
Мам,
Mom,
Вот бы твой отец их всех перестрелял.
I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Wow. Okay. Alright. Okay then.
Мама, они живые.
А что? Ты уж определись, они тебе друзья или враги? Не маленький ведь уже.
Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among the pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this mitten? Of course, a dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. It seemed like I was clutching it the whole time. That's a trump card as a detective. I hurried and presented the clue to my mom.
Мам, смотри, это Вовина варежка. Ну того, про которого утром милиция спрашивала. Она вся в крови, на дереве висел. Давай в милицию скорее позвоним. Как нас... Мам, гляди! Фу!
A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto my mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream. The image slips away.
А ну-ка прекрати сейчас же.
Stop at this moment!
Оля тебя услышит, с ума сойдет.
Ollie will go insane if she hears
Она и
you.
так не спит. На все подряд жалуется.
She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time.
Еще и ты со своими шуточками.
And you joke around like this. At that moment, I realized that this mitten was actually wet from the snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Иди сюда, паникер.
Come here, my boy who cried wolf.
Да не стой столбом.
Oh, don't just stand there, just come and take your pills. A golden colored pill reminiscent of a dead wasp. Whoa, that's an interesting comparison. Fell onto my
Я
palm.
уже пил сегодня, за завтраком.
And what is this pill for? Mom, what are you doing? I already took one during breakfast.
Попререкайся мне еще.
Don't talk over me.
Сказала дома
I told you to stay
сидеть.
home and you,
Бы отец выпорол.
Dad would have given you a good whipping for that.
Сейчас же выпей, а то ночью не уснешь. Тебе ведь в школу завтра.
Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night. And you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten after all. Just like the forest monsters. And Olia's owl. Am I going mad? Oh, what's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawning indifference along with it.
Антон, выпил? Можешь, если захочешь.
I suspect that the pill is bad.
Раздевайся. Уснул, что ли?
I am very sleepy, mother.
Нет, мам, просто задумал.
Интересно, о чем же?
Так, глупости всякие.
Mom scrutinized me with her suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure about what she was looking at. As if she wasn't sure that she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest.
Точно все нормально? У тебя такое лицо было, когда милиционер про окно спросил.
Все нормально, мам.
Хорошо.
Fine. Okay. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared in the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had tasted different. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to the other tapes. Little Mermaid had a TV show? I didn't know that. I thought it was just a movie. Huh. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopping before the sink and studying my reflection in the mirror. Like I was trying to solve one of those spot the differences puzzle. Then I went upstairs. Jafar and Iago's voices died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slipped into my own. Right, I can look at stuff now. My Triceratops figurine. I know about all sorts of dinosaurs, velociraptors, Afroventors, Hypsilophodonts. I remember going to the movie see Jurassic Park back when we used to live in the city and talked about my pictures with the T-Rex in the hall. It turned its head and roared. It was awesome. And next to it was the Robotech Transformer. I love this cartoon. When a jet fighter speeds up into the intro among the sounds of blaster fire, you know your next 20 minutes is surely going to be amazing. Zentradi space station is captured. Rick, get ready for battle! Right, I've already pretty much gone through all of these, so I'm just going to go with this. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. Why do you have an empty drawer? Never trust anyone with an empty drawer. The simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed that there was something behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls like a pair of he sails. The corners of the room bent and undulated. The only thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of burial
Оля.
sheets. Oh yeah? Who else will be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried up
Оля,
lips.
очень смешно.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick, dark layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. But beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with the chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains.
Попался!
Gotcha! Hey, Olya.
Я сразу понял, что это ты.
I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olya's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. She is the ghost. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say that she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's on some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and the sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding up a light woven child.
А я все видела.
I saw everything.
Да ну,
Oh, really?
Что ты спрятал?
What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she would put on her sad mask of tiredness and switch to her commanding tone of voice.
ничего, просто...
It's nothing, just... Ollie ran up to the table, her eyes round, and
Ты
asked,
что-то украл и теперь прячешь?
You stole something and hid it here?
Ты вор?
Are you a thief? That is so adorable, the way she says it too.
Что? Глупая.
What? Don't be stupid.
Ничего я не крал.
I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. Oh. Hi, tree branch. You're scary. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing from behind the black trees. Ollie could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
Then show me.
Клянись, что никому не скажешь. Тогда
Клянусь маминым сердцем.
I know she heard from one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched.
не говори так.
Ollie nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with her imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was flashing her in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Это чья-то варежка?
Is this someone's mitten? She said as if she couldn't understand what she saw.
Один мальчик потерял. И сам потерялся.
A certain boy lost it and God lost
Ты
himself.
понимаешь, как опасно гулять в лесу, особенно детям.
Now you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right?
Ему, наверное, там очень холодно.
It was really cold out there.
Его найдут?
Will they find him?
Обязательно.
They will. You
Участковый
don't
по домам
know
ходит,
that.
всем
Maybe not.
фотографию его показывает.
Police are going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Ollie traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит, а не по лесу?
And why are they going to the houses and not the forest?
Боится?
Are they scared? The question caught me off guard.
Милиционеры ничего не боятся.
The police aren't scared of anything.
Лес они прочесали.
They've already scouted the forest. Yeah, right, flashed a clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where the darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later, for me? I changed the topic, as they're trying to get Olya as far away as possible from the forest thicket.
Если я сам найду пропавшего мальчика, нам,
I
может,
get a
награду
reward if I
дадут.
go find this boy by myself.
Кучу всякого, как в поле чудес.
A lot of stuff like in the Wheel of Fortune.
Клево же.
Sounds cool, right? Ollie wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes and uncharacteristic for her.
А что, если эта сова его утащила?
What if the owl got him?
Ерунда.
Nonsense! The owl can't get him, it's the bear or the fox. They're working together. They're up to something.
Не может сова поднять человека.
An owl won't be able to lift a human,
Но вот что...
but you know what? I was picking my words with the utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain.
Ты в лес не суйся. Мне кажется, он какой-то...
Stay away from the forest. I think it's...
Как бы сказать, проклятый, что ли?
How should I put it? It's cursed or something.
Как в сказке?
Just like in the fairy tales?
Нет, скорее, как на той страшной кассете, что родители прячут.
No, more like that spooky tape our parents hide from us. Olivia shivered and stole a glance at the
Я
window.
видела, как ты убегал.
I saw you running
За
away.
тобой кто-то гнался?
Was someone chasing you?
Нет, просто, чтобы мама не волновалась, спешил домой.
No, it's just I was hurrying back home so mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile, it was easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone.
Хорошо тебе.
You're lucky.
Меня вот мама не пускает даже на
Mom wouldn't even
крыльцо.
let me go outside.
Как принцесса в башне сижу. Никуда не могу выйти.
I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere.
Так и умру тут от скуки.
I'll die from boredom here.
Не придумывай.
You're wrong.
От скуки еще никто не
No one has
умирал.
ever died of boredom. Except in The Sims, you can die of literally anything. You see someone doing something shameful, you die. You see someone, you die. You die.
У тебя же есть я и мультики, а мама с папой скоро помирятся.
And you have me and your cartoons, and mom and dad will be good to each other soon.
Знаешь, что бы я загадала на следующий
You
день
know what I would wish
рождения?
for my next birthday?
Чтобы родители тоже в детей превратились. И мы бы все вместе играли, как раньше.
That's an adorable little wish. If only that was
Ага.
possible.
А если бы они стали размером с жука, то мы бы их в спичечный коробок посадили.
Aww.
Тоша, пойдем Аладдина смотреть.
Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я. Что-то не хочется.
I'm too tired. I don't want to.
Пойдем.
Come
Мне скучно
on, it's so
одному,
boring
а mama
alone and mom is
занята
always
всё.
busy.
Можно выбрать другой
You can
мультик,
pick a cartoon
который
you
ты
haven't
ещё
seen
не видел.
before.
Да я все наши кассеты наизусть знаю.
I know all your tapes by heart at this point.
А вот и не все. Ты Питера Пэна не видел.
Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan.
Помнишь, ты уснул на середине?
Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it?
А там потом такое. Ну
And so much
пойдём.
happens after that. Let's go. Let's go.
Давай попозже.
Maybe a bit later.
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
Should I tell you how it ends?
Утром расскажешь.
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
Утром не захочу.
I won't tell you tomorrow.
Придумала. А давай
I
в
know.
прятки.
Let's play hide and seek.
Нет, Оль.
No, Olya.
Тогда нарисуй мне динозавра.
Then draw me a dino.
Оля, блин.
Olya, please.
Нарисуй, нарисуй.
Draw it. Draw it.
Оставь ты меня в покое!
Leave me alone already. I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared at me with shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olya from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть мультики. Только недолго.
Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit.
Уже не хочу.
I don't want to. I came up to her and put my hand on her soft head. Pat, pat.
Пойдем.
Let's go.
Питера Пэна посмотрим.
Let's go watch Peter Pan.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
Boo, you'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless.
Не усну,
I
обещаю.
promise I won't.
А потом я тебе целого
I'll draw you a full
трицератопса нарисую.
triceratops later.
Ура!
Hooray!
Сири, попса!
Triceratops.
Почти.
Well, close enough. Olya rubbed her eyes and with the sleeve of her pajamas, and shining smile returned to her face.
Давай ты пока кассету перемотаешь, а я у мамы попрошу сгущенки с хлебом.
I'll go ask my mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the
Только
tapes.
утром свежие привезли.
Bread is
как ты
fresh, just how you
любишь.
like it.
Неси, только аккуратнее, а то разольешь.
Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk. Or you'll be yelled at again.
Спорим, не разолью.
Wanna bet I won't spill it?
Кассета где-то в тумбочке. Поищи пока.
The tape is somewhere in the nightstand, look for it. Okay. Like, recently I actually, tried milk and, condensed milk and bread. And it's actually a good snack. It actually tastes really good. All of was the button from the panel. Why is the fire alarm going? The fire alarm went out for some reason. I don't know if that was caught on mic, but okay, I guess not. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR, but then the noise calmed down. A blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark Tega forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out from the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? There's actually a thing that happened back in the day. Sometimes if it was on the wrong frequency, you can actually catch some other things. Local TV stations only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently, I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch the channel again? On the other hand, Oli had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I don't have enough strength to do all of it. I guess we're finding the tape. Let's go, diddly do. Go and find the tape. Yeehaw. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed. Oh, okay, alright. I got the black rectangle from its box. Technically it's a cuboid, but you know, don't mind me. The tape inside, it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Okay. Images whirled in my head, and Olia flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My sister was laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly spine tops. Swampy darkness slurped amongst the trees.
Ты не смотришь без меня?
You haven't started without me, have you? Condensed milk and bread! Woo! And tea too! I want to actually eat condensed milk and bread again. I think I finished the condensed milk in like 2 days after getting it because it actually tasted really good. My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes.
Нет, садись.
No, come sit.
Мама с папой опять ругаются.
Mom and dad are
У
arguing
них
again.
сейчас период такой.
They're going through rough
Глупый
times.
какой-то период.
Rough times are lame. On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Olia was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana.
Может, и нам родители собачку купят?
Maybe mom and dad will buy us a dog too? Oh, there's actual Peter Pan images. That's really cool. I don't think that was there before. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Ага.
Yeah, right.
В Небылянде у меня будет своя собственная
I
собака.
have my own dog in Neverland, and cat, and a parrot. Olia smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
А у тебя все молочные
Have you
зубы
lost all your
выпали?
baby teeth?
Конечно.
Obviously. Olia frowned deep in thought. Why is there drilling going on? Why is there drilling? I don't get it. Why my neighbors like randomly drilling? I don't understand. I think that's audible on my microphone. I don't know why. Why are they drilling? It's so random too, for absolutely no reason. Alright, back to the game, I guess.
У Питера Пэна зубы
Peter Pan has
молочные.
baby teeth.
Вдруг со взрослыми зубами
What if they
тебя
won't
не
let you
пустят
go
в
to his land
Австралию?
without adult teeth? Well, that is technically true because you can't go to Neverland if you're an adult, right? So, yeah,
Мы что-нибудь обязательно придумаем.
we'll think of something.
Попросим папу исправить тебе возраст в паспорте.
Ask your dad to alter your age in the passport.
С чего это папа будет документы
And why would
подделывать?
dad forge documents? Ola took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full.
Будет, будет.
He wish
Мама
I
говорила,
heard
что он так
from mom that they did
А я
that
поэтому
before.
шла.
Смотри, уши вырастут,
She'll
как у
grow
Дамбо.
ears as big as Dumbo's. Ola got worried and touched her ears. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. And she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. Why is there drilling? Stop the drilling. Why? Oh, you know what? It's fine. Don't question it. Don't question it. Just play. To be honest, I also imagined myself there in a land where no one ever ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights in the sound of broken plates at night. I felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Тоша, скорее, шторы задерни.
Tosha, shut the curtains fast!
Зачем?
Why?
Никто же на тебя не
No one's watching
смотрит.
you.
Уже темно.
It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Let's close them. I did my best to not look outside towards the treetops, towards the Tega forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches and scraping the snow.
Тоша, мама думает, что я придумывала про сову.
Tosha, Mom thinks I made the owl up, and Dad too.
Говорит, что раз я
Thinks I'm a
маленькая,
liar,
значит,
since I'm
круто.
small.
А сова есть.
But the owl exists.
Честная,
Honestly,
честная,
honestly,
есть
it
она.
does.
Ты же мне веришь,
You do believe me, right?
что она
That it comes every night,
каждую ночь.
and I swiftly grabbed Oya's hand and looked her into the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. That's right, I transfer. We don't use Bluetooth anymore. We use I transfer. But did I really have those
Тебе
qualities?
верю, слышишь?
Yes, I believe you, all right?
Ты только родителям
Don't
больше
nag
не
our parents about it
рассказывай,
anymore.
у них и так
They're
хлопот.
already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at
Ты
you.
мне говори, если
Come and
что
tell me if anything
случится.
happens,
В окно не смотри.
and don't look out the window.
Она хочет,
But it
чтобы
wants
я
me to
смотрел.
look.
Перехочет.
Doesn't matter.
Притворись, что ее
I
нет
think
и
it
не
doesn't
было
exist and
никогда.
it never
Что она
existed.
выдумка,
Like
как
it's made
родители
up,
говорят.
just like mom and dad say. Okay, one second. I just want to turn down the music a little bit. I should have done this earlier. That should be better. A little lower. There we go. That should be better.
Ей ждать надоест.
It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. Darkness again. Oh. Wait, Oya, are you okay? We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from the crocodile, and Peter Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. All these eyelids had dropped. She started snorting slightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olya's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when Mom peeked into my room.
Довольно баловства.
Enough playing around.
Завтра первый
It's the
день
first
школы.
day at school tomorrow.
Ложись, тебе надо
Go to
выспаться.
bed. You should sleep
Не
properly.
хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя
You
все
don't,
дразнили
you don't want
сном?
to be teased for being sleepy, right? Adults think everything is so simple, as if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear the mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that had entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. It has come, after all, the day I feared the most, the first day of a new school term. Oh, I'm gonna save here then. No, not load. Save. Save! No, gosh dang, no. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna save there. Okay, so that's the whole first episode. That's a revisited to the whole episode. That was really cool. I do remember that the TV had like some spoopy thing happen to it. I think that was missing from here. Maybe that was just part of the prologue. I really remember that the TV had some sort of like demonic kind of thing in it and stuff. But that being said, it was pretty cool. It's really awesome to see how much the game has evolved and grown by, since a year ago. And yeah, that is just really awesome to see. And let me know what you think. I won't be doing this like a series like every day because this thing kills my voice. I don't usually talk a lot, and talking a lot for an hour and a half has killed my voice so far. So I might do this like once a week or something. I don't know. We'll see. That being said, it was really fun to play this again. I want to play through all of the episodes because I think the story is pretty interesting, and I think every story is a bit different. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And Tiny Bunny. It's spoopy. It's scary. It's a visual novel. And yeah, take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. And goodbye.